down with you, man. I missed your last gathering, but the next one I'm going to be there, and I'm going to make sure I introduce myself because, hey, you're God in all circumstances.
Catch the Tory Lowe Show every weekday from 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. Never miss a moment of the truth with...
Get out one time.
101.7 The Truth. It's Truth in the Morning with Bailey Coleman and the legendary
James Mel's in the building. I was reading Andrew's. Before the show came on, we were talking about what he was going to name the segments, and he did a great job with this one. I was like, oh, that's pretty dope. Price of budget cuts. Just a little insider information.
There you go.
It threw me off.
Threw you off a little bit. Good job, Andrew. There we go. So, good morning, Milltown. It's been another week. And you know, Dame, I got to tell you, you were right. There was a lot going on in Milwaukee this past weekend. I was like floored. There was so much. Yeah. There was a lot of walks. The Alzheimer's walk was this past weekend. 2 breast cancer walks for this past weekend. Susan G. Komen and Sister Strut. Did you go to the concert? Gladys Knight, Patti LaBelle, Stephanie Mills, Shaka Khan.
I heard it was dope, though.
I heard it was dope, too. I saw it all online and everything. Mm-hmm. And Gladys was trying to prove that she wasn't having no issues and she was fine.
Miss Gladys? What's wrong with Miss Gladys?
You know,
when they that age, you got to add a Miss to it. What's wrong with Miss Patti?
Yeah,
Miss Gladys.
Now, Miss Patti is 81, looking so good.
81?
She is 81 years old.
Yeah, that's, Asada died this
That's
weekend.
A blessing.
Because Asada Shakur passed this weekend, and she was 78.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Rest in peace.
Yeah, rest in peace. Rest in peace.
But, yeah, she was 78.
Yeah, Patti LaBelle, 81 out on tour.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Getting her money.
And going to get it.
Making sure we straight for these Patty's pies for this upcoming Thanksgiving.
From the stories I've heard, she was always driven. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, so exactly. That's wonderful.
It ain't gonna stop for her. I went to I didn't go. Well, I did go. They had the 5 Points Art Gallery, Save the Gallery thing.
Right.
She's been calling up here for where the business is on Friday.
Right,
and stuff.
right.
So that was this weekend.
I hope she had a great turnout.
Yeah. I think they did. It looked great. So hopefully they did have a great turnout.
Very good. Yeah. So getting back to Gladys, her son is concerned about her health.
Really?
Yeah, her son is concerned about her health.
He ain't just trying to take over like news. Wendy Williams and stuff. You know how Wendy Williams, they try to take over and get
but those
money.
are people that Wendy don't know.
Okay.
It's not even her family.
I thought it was like her son that was involved in it or something like that.
Well, no. Her conservatorship and all the things, no.
Okay,
her son was just being a son. Okay, let's be real. They squeeze you for money. It ain't gonna change. Your kids do that to you. They do.
They ain't gonna put you in conservatorship though for your money?
Well, her ex-husband was messing around in there too. He done had a baby on her and paying for the girl and this and that. All alleged, but supposedly.
That's crazy.
So they felt like the people that were overseeing her finances, I guess you could say, and the millions and millions and millions she was making on the Wendy Williams show were all concerned about that and her mental health.
Yeah, she should be well off because she was like the producer and all of that.
Yeah, she's executive producer and all of that. Yeah,
she should not have any money issues.
She don't have no money issues. The thing is, they controlling her money.
That's crazy.
So, yeah, because they don't feel that she's mentally competent. The bank that's holding her money.
And somebody's convinced the bank that she's not mentally.
Yeah.
But see, that would make me so mad. I done worked my whole life to get this money.
Exactly.
And you going to tell me that it is your determination that I'm not of mental capacity to take care of my own money?
Yeah, or herself. They got her.
They probably do that to black people and have done that to black people.
They got her put up.
Look at Color Purple.
Yeah, I know.
Well, Oprah. So that's a big theme in the black community. Is once you reach a certain level, white people determine, oh, he's crazy. we're gonna take all his land. How
Well,
many black people that happened to
they
and stuff,
they
you
did
know?
that. They've done it a lot. They did it to Britney Spears too. This is the kind of situation that
Yeah.
she's in. You know.
Britney might have been a little nuts though. Let's be honest. Britney might have.
What
She's no longer that way. I'm just saying at one point.
at what point you
at
feel
one
like
point
she
there
might have
was-
been there?
There might have been reason for that.
I don't know.
She was on the internet cutting her hair with some scissors.
They ain't done it to Kanye yet.
Well, I'm not saying they shouldn't.
Yeah, oh.
You didn't let me finish.
Dave.
I'm not saying they shouldn't. I'm saying I think Kanye is putting on a big old act, but that's just
You think he's putting on an act?
Yeah, I think Kanye's a lot of that stuff is just to go viral and you know the black KKK fits and stuff like that. Kanye understands the internet better than most. He's very smart, and so he's just going through the motions.
Yeah, I think it's a mix of both.
Oh, obviously, yeah.
Yeah.
But a lot of it is going through the motions. I think he's autistic. I'm not gonna.
There's something going on there.
Yeah, he's obviously.
Yeah.
I think if you ever seen the videos of him and his mother.
Yeah, I did.
interacting,
Yeah. You got a point.
You work with some kids with ADHD and things like that, and other things. You see it and you're like, oh, I see it now.
Yeah.
I see it.
Yeah. Getting back to Gladys.
We went a long way.
We went a long way. Getting back to Gladys. Yeah, her son
Dare
is
I said we took
concerned
the midnight train
to Georgia.
away from Gladys.
Yes, we did.
It's Monday.
It is Monday. It is
Okay.
Monday. We had a long weekend. I didn't go to anything.
I said all that to say I didn't go to nothing.
I was not out in these Milwaukee streets. I was at the crib. I went into the office, into my other gig for a few minutes, and then pretty much I was just, well, you might have saw me in the store or something.
Yeah, but
I like to get my little shop on from time to time.
you wasn't in any public-facing positions.
No,
That's what you're saying.
no. I really wanted to go to that concert though.
So what? So Gladys, her son.
Gladys
is messing
and
with her.
him,
Now
yeah.
we done teased the people with this.
Oh, I'm sorry.
they
I'm
wanna
sorry.
know. I
So
wanna know.
he feels like they're saying that she is not that she's not doing well with her memory. And she's on tour. She don't know where she's at. She don't know what she's doing apparently. And her husband, her new husband, not his father, but her husband is managing her and has her out here on the road. And she had allegedly told him a long time ago, her son, that when it comes to all this and me touring and all that, when I get older, you're going to have to be the one to put a stop to it. If I'm not capable of, And so people are concerned that she might have, a memory issue or something like that, and that her health is declining. But from what I hear from that show on this weekend, ain't nothing wrong with Auntie.
Listen,
She got it going out. She still got it.
whenever you have a story and it's like her husband was a manager or something like that,
Yeah.
it never ends well. I'm just gonna be honest. Can you think of any? Can you think? We both are in music in different capacities. Can you think of any stories where there was
No.
a husband manager,
Never.
and it ended well?
No,
All right.
not at all.
So I'm kind of look at Andrew. He's so cold. I'm kind of leaning to it. If you're on YouTube, shout out to my people on YouTube.
Yes.
If you're on YouTube, check it out. Andrew just put the article up. Gladys Knight's son says she has dementia.
I was trying to be nice about
Right,
it.
you was
but
trying to be
since-
nice.
But since he put it out there, okay, he thinks she got dementia.
And accused her husband of abusing her. I think having her, if she has dementia or has any type of memory loss, remembering songs, they'll be like, oh, she remember all those songs. She's been doing them for 60 years.
No, but
That's
also you need to understand the people, because that's my side gig, right? I work with folks.
Okay.
I work with folks that have dementia, and one of the things that you should know is they may not be able to speak to you, but if it's a song and there's some music, they can sing.
That's what I'm saying.
And that is one thing, like you said, that they always remember. A lot of them revert to their childhood. And how long has Gladys been performing? Since she was like 10, 12 years old, right?
How old is Gladys now?
I don't know, but if Patty's 81, she got to be up there.
Or she might be older.
She might be older.
She might be older.
Yeah.
So Gladys in her 80s.
Yeah.
Let's just say she's in her 80s.
Yeah. Right.
And that wouldn't, her going through those types of things. She's 81.
So Gladys is 81. Patty's 81. Patty's a different 81, though. She out here making deals, making things happen.
That's what I'm saying.
Baking up them pies. She got a blackberry pie that look good. It's a blackberry cobbler that look good.
But
I'm sorry.
That shows the difference of how life, going through life, can treat you. Stress,
you never know.
Whatever it is.
Yeah.
Some people just have that DNA where they just live to be 100 and some years old. No matter what they do.
I know
they're
people.
They're going to live to be 100 and some years old.
I know people.
That's what they family
Yeah.
does.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's just you got a long life gene.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want that gene.
Hey, me too.
I want that gene because and we're going to talk about this later on in the show, but since we're here talking about it with Gladys, you know, we're talking about, we want to talk about later on the stress of going to war, the stress of living a military life, and how, you know, that affects people. And we're talking about Gladys, and it's not trivial because it's Gladys and we love Gladys, but we're talking about somebody on the stage. But when you add that same effect to someone who's been to war or faced, you know, military things like that, you know, because we had a bunch of shootings this weekend where it was military people. And so it raises the question, are they getting the treatment that they need to be getting?
Exactly.
And when we talk about Gladys and her dementia, we're talking about healthcare treatment all across the board.
Yeah.
Are people getting the treatment that they need to be getting?
Exactly. So, speaking of which, when we come back, we're going to talk about the shootings that happened this weekend, because there was a lot going on, mostly positive. Yes, but those are the negative things. So we'll talk about that when we come back. It's Truth in the Morning on 101.7 The Truth.
You're listening to Truth in the Morning on 101.7 The Truth.
I'm going to say something. I'm a conservative, as you know. I might not agree with you all the time, but even when I don't agree with you, you crack me up. And the other guy, he just pretends conservative all day. And you do make me think. But what you do better than anyone, you think on your feet.
Now that was a compliment coming from somebody who is as Trump-loving as he is, that can appreciate what we do here.
Listen to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes, weekdays from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m.
Life's better with Drive My Way from American Family Insurance, because we know it's more than just a car. It's your escape pod, your adventure mobile, your memory maker. And we help protect the dreams that drive you. Personalize what you pay for auto insurance and you could save between 5 and 20%. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. Unsafe driving behaviors may increase your rate. Visit amfam.com to learn more. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Ready to buy your first house, move into your forever home, or simply refinance? At Associated Bank, they've got you. With the right lending plan and guidance, you can achieve your dreams. Your financial goals are much closer than you think, and Associated Bank is excited to help you reach them. Learn more at associatedbank.com/lending or ask a banker for details. Subject to credit approval. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
It's 101.7 The Truth. Dr. Ken Harris for Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. When a customer chooses Pella, one of the most important things to them is honoring that trust and commitment. A lot of customers might have apprehensions about inviting someone out to their home. But when you see the experience and professionalism, you can trust them with bringing your project to life. Their vision is to be the company that people want to do business with. Watching them work from idea to installation gives you the ability to see firsthand the care taken to ensure the Pella experience is complete. When you want long-lasting comfort and reliability, it's easy to trust Pella. Every piece is specifically constructed for you and your home. All always designed with innovation and rigorously tested for quality and performance. The Pella team takes pride in constructing quality windows and doors with meticulous attention to every detail. Order by the end of the month and get 0% interest for up to 5 years. Visit PellaWI.com today.
Certain restrictions apply. It's 9/30/2025.
This is Truth in the Morning on 1017 The Truth.
.7 The Truth, bringing you Truth in the Morning from the American Family Insurance Studios. I want to remind you, coming your way sometime, we're not going to tell you when, we're going to give you a chance to get qualified for that 5K Gruber giveaway. Okay? So keep it right here this morning with Truth in the Morning. Bailey Coleman and my guy, Damian Elzy. So, Damian.
Yes, ma'am.
We were talking about the shootings that happened this weekend. Now, the first one was at that Mormon church in Michigan. Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. At this point, the latest update is that there were 4 people killed. 2 were killed in the shooting and 2 were killed because of the fire, because he set the church on fire. And then the other one was the bar shooting. I'm not sure where that was. Where was that?
The bar, let me see, I think it was in Massachusetts or something like that. It was in VA.
Oh, Virginia.
I think. Oh, no, it was in North Carolina.
It was in North Carolina.
I'm reading it right now. Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, it was in North Carolina. But yeah, both of them are veterans, and both of them served our country and things of that nature. So it just one. That's just odd, right? You got
both of the shooters.
Both of the shooters
were in the military. They're military vets, and there's some consensus that not that they're connected, but both of them may have had PTSD
or something
like that.
Some type of mental thing going on. Right?
And you know what? I mean, it's sad to hear that, but I think we also have to look at not only do they probably have some kind of mental health situation going on, but with the rhetoric and the climate of the country right now, I think that people that are on the edge with all of this, I mean, let's keep it clear that there's been a ton of mass shootings lately.
Yeah.
And I think that it has to do with the climate of the country. People that are on the edge, I think, are just jumping off now.
Yeah, if you look
for
back,
lack of a better term.
Yeah, if you look back to when Donald Trump was first elected, there has been a steady rise in because mass shootings, and like this year we've had 324. But it depends upon what the criteria that you're using for denoting them as mass shootings. Some of them are 4 and more. Some of them are just if it's 2, then that's a mass shooting. So it depends on what you're looking at.
Right.
But using the 4 or more strategy of mass shooting has been 4 or more. There's been 324. Then they use active shooter. The FBI uses active shooter where somebody's going around just shooting people.
Right.
So that's a different criteria. But needless to say, whatever criteria you're using, there's been a uptick of it since Trump came around, right?
Right.
Even when Biden was in office, they were still going up because the rhetoric had already hit our country. And you're talking about a military guy that has been through whatever they've been through,
right?
And they are susceptible to feeling disenfranchised, feeling disenchanted with the government because they serve the government. Anytime you serve something and you come back and you feel like they're not doing you well, that leaves you open to
Exactly.
that rhetoric.
Exactly.
And a lot of these white supremacist groups and things like that, they recruit these types of guys to come in because they know these are the type of guys they already feel as if they've been let down by the country.
Right. Exactly. You want to get in on this conversation? We'd love to hear from you. 833-212-1017. That's our Truth Talk and text line. That's 833-212-1017. I think that, with all of this, we always get the rhetoric, well, we don't need to control our guns. We need to control people. Mm-hmm. These people clearly had guns and had access to guns. And we need to start really re-looking at that and what needs to happen with that and who should be able to own a gun, because, the old saying, what is it? Guns don't kill people, people kill people. Mm-hmm. Is that what it is?
But if he didn't have a gun, he wouldn't kill nobody.
Exactly.
And that's the caveat to all of that, right? And so in these situations and these shootings that happened this weekend, you have, and that's the old NRA's stomping ground theme. Whatever they say is they often say, it's just mental health is the issue for this and that and the other. We understand that. We understand that if somebody goes out and shoots someone, multiple people, and there's not an emotional connection to that person that they've shot, that's some type of mental health crisis, right? That's going on. But outside of that mental health crisis, you have to also focus on the fact that these guns are out here, and the proliferation of guns and the ease to which someone can get these guns is ridiculous, right?
Right.
And then you add on top of that the mental health part of it, and the NRA and all of these Republicans and Democrats at that point talking about mental health being the problem.
Right.
But then, like Andy is showing right now, they cut funding to the VA.
Right.
So now, you hear stories about people going to the VA waiting for hours and stuff like that. And I'm not saying that's the case here, but we have to acknowledge that these two shooters obviously had something going on, and maybe they weren't getting the help that they needed to quiet those thoughts that they were having of doing something like this.
And you know what? You've seen the stories. We've seen the stories here locally in Milwaukee of veterans not getting the assistance that they need. Mm-hmm. Having to wait in somewhat long lines just to see a physician.
Yeah.
And the shameful thing about it is they risk their lives for us. Mm-hmm. So when they come back from the wars and from their service, we ought to be able to take care of them. That ought to be going on. And at a greater level, they should have some of the best health insurance. They shouldn't have to question it, worry about it, wonder about it, or anything.
You should not have somebody that has signed up to give their life to essentially, right? To risk it. And I'm not talking about a police officer. I'm not talking about firemen, because they do that.
Right.
But it's not to the level of a military guy, right?
Exactly.
Like they have literally signed up to be in warfare, and if they go to war, there's a high likelihood they might get shot.
Exactly.
So when you add that, what they're giving, and I'm not saying I support war. I'm not saying in most cases I don't, but I support soldiers, right?
Exactly.
So, because a lot of those soldiers are black, a lot of those soldiers are brown, trying to get schooling, trying to get whatever they're trying to get, right? When they come back, they should get, like you just said, the best. They shouldn't have a government that is cutting funding. Like they've given their youth to this, and they come back, and now the government is cutting funding to something that could help them.
They're cutting all kinds of funding. All kinds of funding to military people.
Yeah.
Yes, all kinds. Health care for everybody, and especially the military. And why does it seem like the military folks get cut first?
Because they're done with them. And that's how they feel. They feel it's like, I've done what I needed to do. You can't use me anymore. So now you don't care about me at this point, right? Because I've done my tours. I've done my time. I've decided I'm done. So now it's time for you to pay your end of the balance. And it's what America often does. It sells you a dream, the American dream. And selling it to the military is no different. The American dream of, we're going to give you all that you need and all that you can get when you're done. Just give us this time. Look at what they did to black soldiers in the World War I, World War II. Any of these situations, going back to 40 Acres and a Mule, those black soldiers, those black people that fought, we never got that. We never got a part of the Homestead Act. We never got any of the benefits that we were supposed to get from being in the military, but we've given ourselves to the military, and nothing has changed. And so this weekend, you see a blasting, pardon the pun, of that in our faces, right? You see that. You see what can happen when you don't do that. Not that we know that's the case, but we automatically know if you're going to shoot up a whole church, drive your truck through a church, shoot up people, set it on fire, something's wrong, right?
Right.
If you get in a boat, go to a bar on the river, spray it up, something's wrong.
Yeah.
So the fact that we know they're military soldiers and something's wrong, they should have had access to something that could have helped them.
The gentleman in North Carolina that shot up the bar, his former spouse said that he'd been crying for help for years.
See.
And he had gone to the VA and all of these things trying to get help and could not get any help.
That's just terrible.
That's terrible. And people know you're trying to get help and you couldn't get help, and you, a former military vet, and couldn't get help.
Mm-hmm.
What does that say about our country?
The way you take care of the ones that you're supposed to take care of, the least of us, the one that's done the most for you. You know, I'm not saying that they have, but I'm just saying they've signed up. Like I've always said, you know, I'm not pro-war, I'm not any of that, but these people have signed up and they've decided to give their lives to defend us,
mm-hmm.
as America likes to say, you know. And then this is how you treat them?
Wow. Yeah. When we come back, we'll have more on this conversation. You want to get in on this call or on this conversation? 833-212-1017. That's our Truth Talking text line. You're checking out Truth in the Morning with Bailey Coleman and Damian LZ.
You're listening to Truth in the Morning on 101.7 The Truth.
We believe that self-care isn't selfish. I'm Maddie from Sweet Talks, a women-owned and operated medical spa fostering self-love and confidence. We believe that beauty is about feeling empowered from within, and it's truly a passion for our team at Sweet Talks. Your goals are our goals. Our services go beyond injectables, including facials, lasers, medical weight loss, hormone therapy, and more. There's even a cafe, complimentary to all patients. Get started today at Sweet Talks in Menominee Falls. Learn more at sweettalks.com.
At We Energies, we're committed to building a bright, sustainable energy future. We're investing in clean energy projects like solar, wind, and battery storage. As a leader in the decarbonization effort, our goal is to achieve net zero carbon emissions from our generation fleet by 2050. It's part of our plan to provide the affordable, reliable, and clean energy you depend on. Learn more at WeEnergies.com. We Energies, people you can trust, energy you can depend on. This message was paid for by the stockholders of WEC Energy Group.
It's time for Truth Takes, a thought-provoking commentary on the award-winning 101.7 The Truth. Here is Kyle Wallace with his truth.
Truth Nation, I guess I've officially graduated from big bro to unk status, at least according to my little cousin. That's what he said. Now, at first I pushed back a little bit, and I was offended by the assertion that I was old enough to be unk. But after a little thought, y'all, I actually embraced the label of being unk and the responsibility which comes with being quote-unquote unk. See, as unk, I think it's my duty to look out for and support the youth and young cats coming up after me. Embrace the role as being a mentor and role model and aim to protect our kids at all costs. With the news cycle always seemingly being negative towards the youth, we need to take it back upon ourselves to change the narrative and uplift our youth. Our kids are so much more than fights, stolen cars, Kia boys, or acting a fool in public. We can't allow a small population of children to depict who our kids really are in the city of Milwaukee. You have to resist the urge to want to bash our kids and be so quick to pass judgment or disparage the youth. And we gotta stop acting as if we were not once in their shoes, making poor decisions, having regrets. I know we have all been there. Now, regardless of how funny it may sound to say YN, don't label our kids that. That is far from a term of endearment, and we have to remember you become what people call you. If someone calls you dumb over and over and over again, you may start believing that you are dumb, and you may start start having self-doubt in oneself. Don't put that type of self-hating energy on our youth, Milwaukee. We need to call them YKs and YQs for young kings and young queens, even when they might frustrate you. Remember, they are still only kids. With the summer being here, there is no better time to encourage them to aspire to be great. Give them positive reinforcement. Give them positive affirmation until we get it through their minds on who they really are and what they can become. An unstoppable force of greatness.
Listen to Truth to Power with Kyle Wallace weekdays from noon to 1 p.m.
Things are slowing down along eastbound 94. First of all, we've got a crash just east of Springdale Road. It is off on the left shoulder. Then we got more delays from the Zoo interchange pretty much all the way to about 35th. The westbound side's backed up from 27th to Mitchell Boulevard. And then southbound 43 now starting to get into the act. We got some delays heading right past Silver Spring. Not quite to Hampton, though. After that, you open up and everything's good into the Marquette. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast today. Sunny and warm, a high of 78 tonight. Mainly clear with a low of 60 at the lake, 56 inland. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 101.7 The Truth.
This is Truth in the Morning on 101.7 The Truth.
You're checking out Truth in the Morning with Bailey Coleman and Damian LZ.
Yes, ma'am.
Live from the American Family Insurance Studios. I got to tell y'all, coming your way at 8 o'clock, we are going to talk with Lee Hawkins. He's an author, and I'm interested in this book. It's called I Am Nobody's Slave.
Yeah, it sounds interesting.
Oh, it sounds like it's gonna be. It sounds like it's gonna be the truth.
It sounds like something I need to read. You know?
Yeah, exactly.
I would definitely love to dive into that book and see what it's talking about.
Absolutely, absolutely. Now, when we left off, we were talking about the shootings that have happened. 833-212-1017. That's our True Talking text line. We were just, Dame and I know y'all caught us. If you were watching online, you seen us on our phones because we were on Facebook.
Right.
We're trying to watch the feed on Facebook.
Facebook stuff is new, y'all.
Yeah,
so
it's new.
We just checking it out. It's been there for about a week or so, and I've never gone and looked at it. So today I was like, well, let me see.
Yeah, and we both had the same thing in mind. So we're on there going, well, let's go on the Facebook page. And I was actually posting something on there. And so we got caught up. Sorry, Andrew. We were over here just you know how Dame and I are.
Bruh. Yeah, I just wanted to do my little research, do my diligence, see what it looks like.
Exactly. Do your due diligence.
Shout out to everybody that's looking at us right now on Facebook, or shout out to everybody that's on YouTube checking in with us. We got B Bruce checking in, we got Al checking in, we got Clarissa checking in. So if you rocking with us,
let us know.
Jump on that YouTube and say something to us.
Yeah, and if you on Facebook, hit us up on Facebook. If you're checking us out live on Facebook, make sure you do that too. Make sure you check in and let us know you're there. And if you have a question or a comment, go ahead and lay it down right there as well. Where do we go from here?
Refreshing back to the
topic. I'm sorry. The guy that shot up the Mormon church, the guy that shot up the bar. Mm-hmm. Where do we go from here? Because some people are saying that those maybe copycat situations from the Utah situation where they killed the guy at the college campus. You know the one I'm talking about.
Yeah, there's so many different connections you can make, but I think because, Utah, Mormons, somebody shoots up a Mormon church.
Yeah.
There may be some type of, but like I was telling you earlier, I was like, it's like when I talk to kids and youth, they always in their mind make up an excuse for what they did and why they had a reasoning for doing what they did, right? Mm-hmm. I'm not, in this situation, I'm less focused on the reasoning of why they did something. I think that may be, the symptom to the major issue is what got you to this point, right? Not the excuses you've made to do it, but But where along the lines as a society, did we miss out on something that could have stopped you from being able to do this? And being in the fact that they're both military guys, they have cut funding to the VA. What along the way could have stopped them had they had the funding, or if they had the treatment provided for them via that funding? Because somebody had caught this, because somebody had helped them, because something that maybe stopped them from going down this line, or was it just going to happen regardless? We don't know, but I think I would like to err on the side of caution that maybe we could have done something.
Maybe, but then, we'd have to still have that funding.
Yeah.
And
that's what I'm saying. Why we got a president right now, y'all, that and this is and they're gonna lay this at the feet of liberalism, and they're gonna say it's some type of agenda, but it's still, at the end of the day, an angry white man. But this angry white man was a military white guy.
Yeah.
So we know he had access to certain things. And why didn't he get access to those certain things? Because they cut funding to those certain things. So now, whereas they could just walk in the VA, they got to make an appointment. And then it's months out. And then even when they go, they got to wait for 3-4 hours to be seen. And the hurdles have been placed in front of them. When they put their lives on the line, they should be given this stuff automatically. So he's doing his cuts there, but he still got money to send people to Portland. Still got money to send the National Guard to Memphis. Still got money to send ICE agents to give them $1 billion or whatever, more dollars, whatever.
Right.
But those who have served this country,
yes,
and those who need it the most,
yes,
you cutting their stuff.
Yeah.
And I can't get with that.
And when it comes to those type of cuts, there's no color involved.
No.
They just cut straight across the board. You don't matter where you came from. You ex-military, you former military. Okay, well the
color is green.
The color is green.
Money.
Yes.
And they shouldn't be cut. We shouldn't be facing those. And I understand we can say we're in a tight situation because the city itself.
Yes.
We know that. Bringing it home.
Yeah.
We know the facts of the fiscal toughness that we're going through.
Right.
With having to make tough decisions and whatnot. But on that national level, on that federal level, okay, you making these tough decisions, but you got enough bread to send the National Guard to Portland.
Exactly.
You got enough bread to mess with Chicago. You got enough bread to send the feds to D.C., but you don't have enough bread to take care of those that have put their lives on the line for this country and are asking for help. Like this person said, their mother said they were asking for help.
Asking.
And they couldn't get it.
Couldn't get it.
Who do we... Not to place blame, but somebody's got to take the blame, right?
Yeah.
And you can say it's on that person, but as a society, isn't it our job to take care of those who can't function, take care of those, the least of us?
They should have, the veterans of this country should have the best health insurance available.
Without a doubt.
Without question.
Yeah.
Without question.
It shouldn't be the rich being able to just, and I work for the city, so I got great health care. I can just walk in, right?
Uh-huh.
Veterans should have that.
Yeah.
They shouldn't have a VA that's falling apart. They shouldn't have to wait for a bunch of months to make an appointment.
Right.
None of that should happen because this is what you've placed them in this position.
Exactly.
You've added this element to them. They were fine when they signed up.
Exactly.
But this has happened while they were in your care.
Exactly.
So you should take care of them.
Exactly.
And I'm not saying that would have stopped the shootings that took place this weekend. And I'm not saying that those are the reasons because we don't know. But in the back of our mind, it forces us to make this connection. And we have to ask ourselves these questions. With the funding being cut to them, and this being 2 soldiers in one weekend, what could we have done?
What could we have done? Exactly. What could we? And they both passed away in the whole deal.
Yeah.
So what could we have done?
Yeah. And Andy said former soldiers, but if you talk to a soldier, they know once you're a soldier, you're a soldier.
Former
Ain't
soldier.
no former.
Yeah.
Once you
a soldier, you're a soldier.
Once you've been indoctrinated in that area,
exactly.
You forever, Well, I don't know the cause and stuff. I've never been in the Army. I've never been.
You've never been in the military?
No, I've never been.
My father was in the Air Force, and this has nothing to do with what we were just discussing, but I didn't find out that he was a drill sergeant. My father was the quietest kindest, gentlest man, or one of them, that you would ever want to meet. And I was like, you was a what? A drill sergeant.
But when you put on that uniform,
it's a whole different ball game. Whole different ball game. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Okay, we're going to switch gears on you real quick. And did you realize that on October 1st, there's going to be some scale back over at just a few days from now at Planned Parenthood?
Well, it goes, you're right. We can talk about it because we've been talking about it all weekend.
We've been talking about it all weekend.
And so to us, y'all, we've been talking about this and what's going on because me and Bailey talk all weekend about what we're going to talk about and things like that. So we've been talking about it. So if it feels like we just jumping in because we've been talking about it. But so just fill them in on what's going on.
So due to federal cuts, October 1st here in Wisconsin, Planned Parenthood is going to put abortions on pause. Now, Planned Parenthood offers a wide range of things for women's health, reproductive health.
It's not just for those that think it's just abortion. It's not. They answer cancer screenings. They do all types of stuff for women's health.
Exactly.
And a lot of young girls that go to Planned Parenthood, to get all of their health stuff taken care of. So let's throw that out there in case you didn't know.
In case you didn't know. So due to federal cuts, that service is going to be put on pause. The service of abortions.
And pause is just a good way of saying that we ain't doing it no more.
Yeah, because they're
pausing for the duration of this
however long
presidency until they give us back some money.
Right.
Pause.
You ain't gonna be able to. You're gonna have to go over to Chicago to go ahead and get if you need something like that to happen for you.
Yeah, and again, these are if you're a woman, and I think the theme that we're placing here for the people, what we're laying out to y'all, and hopefully you're connecting these dots, is that there are cuts going about that are affecting the least of us, right?
Yes,
absolutely. If you're a woman and you're in a position where you need to go to Planned Parenthood, you probably don't have good health. You may have good health care,
right?
But this Planned Parenthood is providing a service,
right,
that you can't get anyplace else.
Exactly.
Or you wouldn't be at Planned Parenthood. Let's be 100.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so when they start cutting things that benefit the least of us, that is an aristocratic society, right?
Exactly.
They no longer care about the least of us, whether they be a soldier, whether they be a single mother, whether they be a woman out here.
Exactly.
The least of us, the least powerful of us, they no longer care about. And they're showing every day how they don't care about us. But people still are blind.
They are.
They don't want to see it.
And here's my concern about that. People are just sitting back and not paying attention, going in their day-to-day life and kicking it and not realizing, hey, there's some stuff that's about to kick in at the first of the year, like in February, that's going to be outrageous to you. And you're going to be, instead of preparing for it now, you sitting back, paying it and not paying attention, acting like it's not going to affect you. And guess what? It is going to affect you.
They need to listen to the truth. You showed them.
That's right. And we're going to come back with
Bailey
more. We're going to talk.
You told them last week.
We're going to talk more about Planned Parenthood and SNAP when we come back. It's Truth in the Morning with Bailey Coleman and my guy Damian Elzie on 101.7 The Truth.
You're listening to Truth in the Morning on 101.7 The Truth.
Hey, Truth fam. This is your girl, Melanie Ricks, and I want to remind you to tune into Nothing But the Truth digital show with me, Melanie Ricks, presented by Visit Milwaukee. Every Wednesday at 6 p.m., a new episode drops on the 101.7 The Truth YouTube page. And since it is on YouTube, I hold nothing back. I give you all my hot takes on celebrity gossip and give you the tea on relationships that you don't want to miss. Subscribe to 101.7 The Truth on YouTube so you never miss Nothing But the Truth digital show, dropping every Wednesday at 6 p.m., presented by Visit Milwaukee. Handcrafted, homegrown, world class.
Hey, Truth Nation, it's your girl DT from The Truth Unfiltered with DT and Dr. Ken Harris. Now listen, at a critical time, through the Empowerment Small Business Loan Program, Old National Bank provided the resources I needed to sustain my business. Now the process had its challenges, but I was supported, and it was also an invaluable learning experience for future ventures. I am so grateful for the support that helped my business thrive. Old National Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender, all loans subject to approval.
Milwaukee College Prep, redefining what's educationally possible so more children can pursue their dream. Join me, Craig Karmazin, and Milwaukee College Prep Thursday, October 23rd at Venue 3 at the 3rd Street Market Hall, and take a stand in closing the opportunity gap for Milwaukee scholars. Your support means quality education is accessible to over 2,000 scholars in Milwaukee. Enjoy food, drinks, and a chance to learn more.
Purchase tickets at 2025. TakeAstand.GiveSmart.com. That's 2025. TakeAstand.GiveSmart.com.
It's 101.7 The Truth's Dr. Ken Harris for Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. When a customer chooses Pella, one of the most important things to them is honoring that trust and commitment. A lot of customers might have apprehensions about inviting someone out to their home. But when you see the experience and professionalism, you can trust them with bringing your project to life. Their vision is to be the company that people want to do business with. Watching them work from idea to installation gives you the ability to see firsthand the care taken to ensure the Pella experience is complete. When you want long-lasting comfort and reliability, it's easy to trust Pella. Every piece is specifically constructed for you and your home, always designed with innovation and rigorously tested for quality and performance. The Pella team takes pride in constructing quality windows and doors with meticulous attention to every detail. Order by the end of the month and get 0% interest for up to 5 years. Visit PellaWI.com today.
Certain restrictions apply. It's 9/30/2025.
Wisconsin is as hard-working of a place as you'll ever find. People here are tough, but even the toughest among us need help after a serious accident. At Gruber Law Offices, we won't stop fighting for you and your family. One call, that's all.
This is Truth in the Morning on 101.7 The Truth.
Okay. 101.7 The Truth. Bringing you Truth in the Morning from the American Family Insurance Studio in the heart of downtown Milwaukee at 3rd Street Market Hall. Dame, nobody's staying woke. We spent all that time telling people to stay woke and be ready and be prepared.
They're not ready.
And they are not ready.
Let me reiterate to y'all. Bailey has been this has been one of her things, is talking about the cuts to Medicaid and how it was going to affect people eventually. And I think you're seeing it in real time. You've had these, because the cuts in general, you've had the shootings this weekend, which we can somehow kind of attribute to that. If you wanted to go that way, you've got Planned Parenthood in Wisconsin deciding they're going to pause on giving abortions. All of this based upon cuts that are happening.
Yeah.
And you add that to the backdrop that ICE during Trump now has gotten a 400% increase in their budget.
400%.
400%. They're getting $70 billion over the next 4 years. They're getting $11 billion in 2026.
Wow.
That's B with a B. But the veterans, their cuts, their VA stuff is getting cut. They're cutting funding to Medicaid, which is used by the poor people, because in most cases veterans ain't rich.
Yeah.
So they're affecting and attacking what is used by the poor people, and it don't stop there.
Yeah.
They're attacking SNAP, right, Bailey?
They are attacking SNAP. I was checking out this article, and they were talking about some of the things you're gonna have to work to get SNAP.
Come on.
You gonna have to work. Not only you gonna have to get ready, y'all. See, this is my thing. People are sleep
at the wheel.
Sleep at the wheel and not preparing for this. Now, these changes should be taking effect with the food share and all of that here in Milwaukee around February.
Mm-hmm.
This is the time when you need to be collecting all your canned goods, everything you can, use some of those benefits that you have right now to stock your cabinets and buy non-perishable food items so you could try to last through some of this drama.
It's called, my mother calls it when the revolution comes. And but when I was little, there was a space under the steps, and going into the basement, and it was all filled with all of these canned goods.
Right.
And my mother called that the revolutionary room, and that meant when the
That's what
revolution
she
comes,
called it.
yeah, when the revolution comes, that's where all that food was gonna be.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I was at Walmart this weekend, and I saw somebody with a cart like that.
Yeah.
And in my mind, I'm thinking, oh, they getting their revolutionary room ready. And that's and when you say that, that's what I think of. They getting their revolutionary room ready.
Well,
Go
see,
ahead, brother.
Now, see,
You know?
my mom didn't call it that, but you always gotta have you some canned goods.
Yeah.
Always have you some canned goods. And I used to and then as we got older, when my sister owns my parents' old house, and she if there's ever anything that's gonna happen or go on, everybody know that's where they gonna go, because she got food for day. I mean, she got canned goods. When I say that, I mean she's prepared.
Yeah, just think though, in all of those dystopian movies and all of those end of world movies, when they find a cache of canned goods, it's like,
Right.
So we understand the point. But going back to this, with SNAP being cut and adding that to the cuts of funding that is taking place, so we've all again, let me reiterate to y'all. We talked about the military cuts to the VA, right? We talked about the cuts to Medicaid and how it's affecting Planned Parenthood, and now you're talking about the cuts to SNAP.
Yes.
All of these are initiatives that are help and benefit the less fortunate of us. So you should see where this government is going and how they are moving forward and who is a priority to them. It's not you and I.
Exactly. Let me tell you some of the things with SNAP that you're going to have to do. They've got expanded work requirements. The age range for adults required to meet work requirements will increase from 18 to 54 to 18 to 64. Parents of children age 14 and older will now also need to meet work requirements.
So if your kid if you're getting food stamps because of your kid, then you have to meet the work requirements as well?
So don't have a kid that's in that in-between stage
Getting
where
SSI or something like that.
Well, they might be 18 to say 20, and you still kind of helping them out. They're still living at home, that kind of deal. Because that's gonna be a problem, because they're gonna have to go to work, not to school. There's restrictions for new legal immigrants. There's stricter exemption rules. Some people, like veterans, who we've been talking about all morning, people who are homeless and former foster youths 18 to 24 are exempt from having to meet work requirements in order to receive SNAP benefits. The bill removes those exemptions.
Listen, y'all. Just pay attention. And Bailey's been screaming this. I've been screaming this. Pay attention to what this government and what they're and bringing it home to Milwaukee. This affects us, right?
Yeah.
We all know people that have used SNAP. We all know people that have been in the military, because we're not a rich city, right? We're not overly wealthy. So these are things that benefit us. This is going to affect us. You're going to see this in the Milwaukee streets. You're going to see the effects of this in our community when they cut down the mental health out there, the mental health complex, right?
Yeah.
Then you saw more of the homeless out on the street corner.
Absolutely.
You immediately see it.
Absolutely.
You're going to immediately see the effects of this, because this is directly going to affect our community.
Let me hit you with this. There will be changes in medical benefits. Approximately 1 in 5 Wisconsinites, or 1 million people, receive health care coverage and services through Wisconsin's medical programs. Almost half of Wisconsin medical members are children.
So add the children now. So now we've got the military they don't care about, the military veterans that they don't care about. We've got the young women or the women that go to Planned Parenthood, they don't care about. And now you've got those getting food share and things like that they don't care about. But when you look deeper into that,
right,
children are half of this.
Yes.
So what's the overbearing theme here? Is that the least of us, again, they don't care about it. And so white folks get it in their mind that they not a part of this this conglomerate of the least of us. That's just happening to black and brown people. But the overrunning majority of those that are getting these benefits are poor white people.
Yes. Listen, Wisconsinites will lose health care coverage under both the Affordable Care Act and Medicaid because of the new law over the next decade. So you gonna lose benefits. That is why. So everybody's wondering why the Democrats don't want to sign the new stopgap for the government to get the government paid. This is why they're protesting that, because they're trying to save your health care coverage.
They already want to get rid of Obamacare and all of that.
Absolutely.
And just think how many people that's, I don't, like I said, every time I mention Obama, I don't agree with everything Obama did, but he did some things.
Yes, he did.
That were good. And so that they already want to get rid of that. Why? Why do they want to get rid of all of this stuff that benefits the least of us?
Now look, in Milwaukee County, peep this, 19,951 people are at high risk of losing health care coverage.
Say that number again.
19,951.
And again, y'all, when we just said, when they got rid of the mental health complex out there, you saw the influx of what happened, right? You see more people with mental health issues on the streets. When they start doing these cuts, you're going to see it. I don't know how. I don't know how it's going to affect you. I don't know how you're going to feel it.
Yes.
But you are going to feel it and to act like, but by then it's too late. So I'm asking everyone that can hear my voice, everyone that can see us on YouTube, see us on Facebook, wake up. Wake up, y'all. Well, this is affecting us. We can't sit this one out. I know he's going after the immigrants, but he on us now.
He on us.
He on us. And going after the least of us, he's going at us because we benefit from that. But even though white folks are probably getting more of it, we're going to see it, y'all. It's going to affect us.
All right, we'll have more on that later on. When we come back, we'll be talking to author Lee Hawkins about his new book, I Am Nobody's Slave. I can't wait to talk about this. You're checking out Truth in the Morning with Bailey Coleman and Damian LZ on 101.7 The Truth.
Teachers are the heart of our classrooms, but what does it take to keep the great ones in the classroom and to inspire the next generation? Join me, Kyle Wallace, and City Forward Collective's Coleston Morgan Jr. for the next episode of Forward Together for Kids. We'll talk about the joys and challenges of teaching and how education policy at the state level impacts what happens in our local classrooms. Tune in Saturday, October 4th at 11:30 a.m. on the award-winning 101.7 The Truth with the replay on Sunday, October 5th at 2:30 p.m.
101.7 The Truth and Associated Bank have teamed up for our Black-owned business give back. Each quarter, 4 lucky businesses will win an opportunity for a monthly spotlight interview. Yes, you will win 3 interviews on the award-winning 101.7 The Truth. To sign up for your business's chance to be highlighted on The Truth for 3 months, visit blackbusinessgiveback.com. That is blackbusinessgiveback.com. Associated Bank member FDIC.
The biggest snowflakes out here are always been the white Republicans who are so gung-ho on protecting the feelings of white kids while they ignore the needs of other kids. If Milwaukee's youth has a problem with fighting, well, white youth have a problem with being destructive and offensive. So it is sad that our government is actively working to de-emphasize educating and uplifting students of color in different backgrounds on college campuses. That emphasis is going to be diminished, and the only kids that will suffer will be our kids. They were willing to hold up the advancement of the state of Wisconsin because they disagree with DEI. What are white Republicans afraid of? Why are they afraid to face the fact that their grandmas and grandpapas were part of a system which purposely held black folks back and failed to give us the access that we deserve? Until these politicians stop ignoring these egregious acts of hate and racial incidents, America can never be great again.
Catch Truth to Power with Kyle Wallace every weekday from noon to 1 p.m. on 1017 The Truth and The Truth app.
Metastatic breast cancer, or stage 4 breast cancer, happens when cancer spreads beyond the breast to other parts of the body. About 168,000 women are living with it today, with Black women at a higher risk due to various factors. Research has led to treatments that help manage the disease and improve quality of life. The Everyday Counts study explores how nutrition and exercise coaching can support women with metastatic breast cancer. To learn more about the Everyday Counts study in Milwaukee, call 414-955-8819 or email edc@mcw.edu. If you or someone you know has stage 4 breast cancer, please encourage them to call and enroll in this valuable study. Again, call 414-955-8819 or email edc@mcw.edu.
You're listening to the new 1017 The Truth, founded in partnership with American Family Insurance. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. 1017 FM, 1510 AM, WGKB Waukesha, and W269DL Milwaukee, a locally owned Good Karma brand station. This is Truth in the Morning on 1017 The Truth.
Check it out one time.
It's Truth in the Morning with Bailey Coleman and Damian LZ on 1017 The Truth. So, Dame, there's another list out.
There's another list.
There's another list.
I'm not a fan of lists. When people make these arbitrary lists, because it's all about somebody's opinion.
It is about somebody's
it's
opinion,
somebody else's opinion out.
Yeah.
It's another opinion.
But you know what, though?
A list would make one think that whatever they're talking about is the facts.
Well, this one's kind of hard to deny.
Okay.
The dirtiest cities in America. You know who's at the top, right?
What city is at the top?
New York.
Well, New York is filthy. New York.
Now, I want to say,
damn.
I know. I want to say the area of New York that I have consistently visited wasn't that bad. I didn't see. You know how on TV, whenever you see New York on TV in movies or anything, you always see the rats and the this and the that are in the subways and this and that. But when I went in the subway, because I had to take one, I didn't see all that. It was actually very clean, freshly painted. It was what?
I seen it.
You see?
When I was in New York, I seen it.
Now I was in Manhattan.
It was a rat carcass on the sidewalk that was as long as the pavement. It was that long. And with the tail and the carcass. And then rats in New York. Now, albeit the last time I was there, no, this wasn't the last time, but one of the times I was there, they were on a sanitation strike, right? Because there was a lot of trash and stuff on the streets.
So that's different.
So it was heightened. But I can only go off of what I seen. The rats was out there in New York kicking it with us They was like, what up, fam? What happened? You like in the city? You hanging out? Where you going? You go to the pizza shop over there? They got good pizza. That's how these rats work. The last time I went, it wasn't as bad.
Okay.
But it was still terrible. And when people say they live in New York, I'm like, how?
Okay.
How you do that?
Okay. I
can't do it.
Okay.
I couldn't do it. And then they
I
just
feel
talk
your
about
frustration.
they just talk about rats and roaches in New York like it's normal, right? Like that's just normal. You live in these big apartment buildings, you live on top of people like that. That's gonna happen. That's why I could never live in some place like that because I need space. I need to have, space. Go outside and see space. I don't want to go outside and just be looking across the street and see another building all the time,
Well, you're talking about the rodents there, and of course, New York is America's biggest city and also ranks the dirtiest. And New Yorkers file mountains of sanitation and rodent complaints each year. So you weren't too far from the truth on the rodents. Coming in at number 2, Baltimore, Maryland. Baltimore leads the nation in sanitation complaints per capita, with illegal dumping as a chronic problem. And their sanitation issues are visible across many, many blocks. So you can see clear down the street that it's just piling up. Coming in at number 3.
Well, Baltimore is going through a resurgence. They
are?
I don't want to say resurgence. It's gentrification going on in Baltimore.
Oh, gentrification.
You've got certain areas that aren't this way and certain areas that are. Last I was there. But
okay.
Finish it.
Okay. Number 3, Chicago. Our cousins down the street, Chicago, Illinois. Coming at number 3, it's been named America's rattiest city.
More ratty than New York?
Apparently, multiple years in a row.
That's ridiculous.
By Orkin, litter is common in many neighborhoods, and sanitation complaints remain high despite frequent street sweeping. Public satisfaction scores are very low. They got lots of rats down there. They need to keep them there.
When I go to Chicago, I don't see rats like that.
I don't see them
Maybe
either.
I'm not in the areas that, I'm downtown.
Apparently.
I'm by museums
See,
and stuff
you're like me. I'm not all in the trenches.
I'm not in the trenches when I go
I'd
to
be over by the United Center, but you go 2 blocks the wrong way there, you could be in trouble.
That's true. That's true.
And that's happened to me before. Number 4, San Bernardino, California. It ranks poorly on nearly every measure. Litter, garbage complaints, rodents, illegal dumping. Residents report very low satisfaction with the cleanliness, and the city consistently lands near the top of the dirtiest cities list. Wow. I could say that, though. I've been to San Bernardino before, and I think, I've been all up and down that California area. Coming in at number 5, Los Angeles.
I can understand that.
Yeah, I mean, LA's trash problem is well documented. Overflowing bins, visible litter, and frequent sanitation complaints. Rodents thrive in alleys and parks, and residents consistently rank street cleanliness low. Illegal dumping and bulky waste remains are a top issue there. So I know what everybody's saying. Is Wisconsin on this list? Is Wisconsin? Yep, Wisconsin is on the list. Wisconsin is. Guess where Wisconsin's at?
Where we at?
We actually. I mean, it's a shame we made the dirty list, but we didn't do too bad. Milwaukee, Wisconsin came in at number 29. So it's the top 30 dirtiest cities. We came in at number 29. I think, that's something to be.
That ain't bad. I told you that's middle of the list probably. When you're talking about mid-major cities, that's probably where we should be.
We're at the bottom of the list.
We probably should be at.
Okay. Milwaukee has long battled rodent problems, ranking in Orkin's top 25. Litter levels hover about average, and residents file frequent 311 complaints about overflowing bins and illegal dumping in alleys. Cold winters can mask the problem, but summer brings it right back.
And whoever wrote that was spot on, because that winter snow covers up a lot of the trash, so you don't see it. And then and people throwing trash, and that's the worst when the snow melts, and now you got to see it. That's when our complaints in our office go through the roof. Is when that type of stuff happens. You know, Milwaukee 29 is about right. When you add in the illegal dumping.
And that has really become a problem here.
Oh, without a doubt.
I mean, I never heard about illegal dumping. I didn't hear a lot about it here until this year, actually.
Yeah, illegal dumping is something. We've been dealing with it since we've been in office, and it's been 11, 12 years. But it's really gotten out of control now. Because before they used to just do it in our district, and we would keep it clean, and we would have these ordinances to, add rewards and things of that nature for illegal dumping. But now it's spread out.
Yeah,
all over the city, to black communities all over the cities, and a lot of times this illegal dumping is taking place, whereas people coming from outside our communities is dropping it down on us.
Right.
So it's like we get this reputation for being an unclean city, but it's like y'all coming in here dropping this on us. You know what I mean?
Right.
Not that we aren't adding it to ourselves and we throwing stuff out the windows and doing little stuff like that, but that stuff that can cleaned up with a street sweeper. I'm talking about the stuff that you got to call a skid to come get. And when I was in New York, that's what I was seeing. I was seeing stuff that they needed skids to come get. So that's the stuff that causes rats, and that's the stuff that causes all the other stuff that comes from the uncleanliness. But 29 on the list, I'm not mad at that. I'm not mad at 29.
Yeah. So we got our guest. All right. Here we go. We gonna switch gears again. We have our guest, Lee Hawkins, on the line. Good morning, Lee. How are you?
Hello, Bailey and Dame. How you doing this morning?
Great.
All right. Glad to hear your voice.
So, Lee.
Both of y'all.
Lee, I want to congratulate you. I know this happened in 2022, but to be a Pulitzer Prize finalist, is an amazing thing. And we both talk, and we're excited to talk to you about your new book. It's called "I'm Nobody's Slave: How Uncovering My Family's History Set Me Free." Tell us about your book. Tell us about your book.
Yeah, so my book, like many Black Americans, I was always curious about my family's history. My father was from Alabama, but I was raised in Minnesota. So like a lot of the Black people who live in Milwaukee today, my roots are in the South. And a lot of us don't realize that Jim Crow also separated our families, not just slavery. There were many positive aspects of Jim Crow, but there was also the fact that a lot of our parents and grandparents would not speak about the South anymore. And a lot of people didn't go back down. They didn't keep in touch with family members. And so my book was wanting to know why my father wouldn't talk about Alabama, and do my best to go back to 400 years of history to find out exactly what happened to my family through enslavement, Jim Crow, and the Great Migration, and how that impacted the way I was raised. Because there are a lot of things in the Black community that trace back to those periods. One of the big ones is, the collaboration and the love between our community and how we all came together, but also the hard parts. For instance, one thing, getting the belt as a kid. I never really knew where that came from, but I thought that it probably came from slavery and Jim Crow, and that brought a lot of trauma into my life and tension with my father, who loved me greatly, but thought that using the belt was a way to protect me. So this is a very deep book that gets into the processing that Black Americans need to do, both with the external community, but inside of our families, in order to really heal from the intergenerational trauma that was caused by these periods.
And I'm glad you brought that up, because we last week on this show here even were discussing the the way that trauma is passed on. And we have some studies shown, and it actually affects our DNA, and it's passed on via DNA from generation to generation. And what you did in your book was take, I'm assuming you took that trip down that path of that trauma from generation to generation, and it's shown in your own family how it affected
I named
you.
it. Exactly. A lot of times we will know that our family was affected by slavery, but not really know the details. And what I wanted to do was to get the names of my family members going back way to the 1800s. And so I did that. I went all the way to the 1600s, and I was able to see those who were enslavers, because most Black Americans, 90% of us, have the DNA of the enslaver running through our veins because of the fact that so many of our matriarchs were sexually assaulted during slavery. And so I studied them, and I studied the names of the people who enslaved my great-great-grandparents, and I repieced my great-great-grandparents' lives together, so then I could figure out how that affected the way that the family saw the world, right? And then that was when I started to see that the whipping that I received goes back to the whipping that they received, and that outlook of feeling that they needed to do that to protect us went all the way to slavery. And then to look at also the apartheid, because we think of Jim Crow as being just segregation. That's what we're taught. But when I really went into the history, guys, I found out that it was so much more than that, that there are 8 million living survivors of a system that was apartheid on American soil. And many of those people, including my family, had generations after generations of family members murdered, including my grandfather and both of my great-grandfathers. And so when we look at the homicide crisis that we're dealing with today in the Black community, a lot of the family members who are mourning the losses of fathers and sons and daughters and mothers are going through that same kind of immediate kind of pain that our ancestors went through. It's the same thing. When you had a family member lynched, that's very similar to the unaddressed emotions that people who are going through the homicide crisis actually go through. And also those who have family members, murdered by police. And so once again, this book really gets into all of that, because I didn't even know that I was a murder survivor, and I didn't even know why my father would sometimes have nightmares about Alabama.
Wow.
And I know I would ask him in the morning, Dad, what were you dreaming about? And he would just say Alabama.
Wow.
And so, can you relate to that? I'm sure there are lots of people who can. And what I wanted to do was do this process to help people start to understand not just what we've been through in terms of pain, but the fact that we survived it.
Wow.
And how powerful Black American people really are.
Yes, we are. So you're being featured tonight at an event with the NABJ, that's National Association of Broadcasters and Journalism. And can you tell us about the event, where it's at, and how people can get tickets?
Yes, it's the National Association of Black Journalists Milwaukee and the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel. It will be tonight at Thrive On, the Thrive On Center, and that is right there in Milwaukee. I'm not sure what the exact address is.
I think it's 2153 North Dr. Martin Luther King Drive.
Yes, and it starts at 5 o'clock. It's from 5 to 7. Right now, the actual tickets are being listed as sold out, but they told me that there may be people who don't show, and so they're expecting to still be able to let everyone in, because a lot of times there's no show. So come on down and see us, and we'll work it out. But I'm going to be talking, and I'm going to be signing the books. Not only was I a Pulitzer finalist, but this book was Oprah's Daily Best Black History Month book. It's an Amazon Best History book. It's an Amazon editor and two Amazon editors pick, and it's also got 2-starred reviews, including from Kirkus and from Library Journal.
Wow. So they can get your book on Amazon.
Yes, you can get my book on Amazon, or you can come tonight and get a signed copy.
Oh, there you
and I
go.
always say, yeah, if you get a signed copy, you can get $5 extra on eBay when you sell it.
See?
So your name is worth that $5.
Amazing.
So that'll cost $6 then, right?
Okay. So it's the National Association of Black Journalism, Milwaukee. It's going on tonight, this evening from 5 to 7 at Thrive on King, 2153 North Dr. Martin Luther King Drive in Milwaukee. Lee, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you. I can't wait to come back. I used to live in Milwaukee. I used to work at the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel for 7 years, so I can't wait to see all my old friends. Come on down, y'all.
Excellent. Y'all make sure y'all go down there and check it out and get a book, get it signed, get that $5 extra on eBay.
It's 1017 The Truth.
You're listening to Truth in the Morning on 1017 The Truth.
I'm going to say something. I'm a conservative, as you know. I might not agree with you all the time, but even when I don't agree with you, you crack me up. And the other guy, he just pretends conservative all day. And you do make me think. But what you do better than anyone, you think on your feet.
Now that was a compliment coming from somebody who is as Trump-loving as he is, that can appreciate what we do here.
Listen to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes, weekdays from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m.
It's 1017 The Truth's Dr. Ken Harris for Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. When a customer chooses Pella, one of the most important things to them is honoring that trust and commitment. A lot of customers might have apprehensions about inviting someone out to their home. But when you see the experience and professionalism, you can trust them with bringing your project to life. Their vision is to be the company that people want to do business with. Watching them work from idea to installation gives you the ability to see firsthand the care taken to ensure the Pella experience is complete. When you want long-lasting comfort and reliability, it's easy to trust Pella. Every piece is specifically constructed for you and your home, always designed with innovation and rigorously tested for quality and performance. The Pella team takes pride in constructing quality windows and doors with meticulous attention to every detail. Order by the end of the month and get 0% interest for up to 5 years. Visit PellaWI.com today.
Certain restrictions apply. Ends 9/30/2025.
Tired of hearing no from other banks? No to a loan? No to a checking account? Just no? At Brewery Credit Union, we find ways to say yes. Yes to second chances. Yes to rebuilding credit. Yes to helping you save, borrow, and thrive. Work with our credit specialists and move your financial life forward. Brewery Credit Union, Milwaukee's best place to borrow and save. Visit brewerycu.com. That is brewerycu.com. Federally insured by NCUA. Saving energy and money? It's easier than you think. Here are 2 simple things you can do to reduce your energy use and lower your energy bill. Use thermal curtains to reduce each room's energy loss by up to 25%. And make sure vents aren't blocked by furniture or rugs to improve airflow and comfort. Simple, smart savings. Get more energy-saving tips at WeEnergies.com. Again, that is WeEnergies.com.
How much does it cost to talk to Gruber Law Offices after a serious crash? It's free. Yes, free. As in, it won't cost you anything to speak with us. Not sure if you have a case? Call our team at Gruber Law Offices today. Your first call and your first consultation are always free. And you'll never pay us a fee until we win your case. If you've been seriously injured, call Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
This is Truth in the Morning on 1017 The Truth.
Truth in the Morning with Bailey Coleman and Damian LZ. All right, Dame. What was you watching this weekend? Because you sent me a text about the baddies.
Listen, this weekend I got sent a fight, And it was
somebody inboxed you a fight.
They sent it to me.
The baddies fighting.
The baddies fight, and it was Pretty P. And
Pretty P is from Milwaukee. In case you guys don't know,
it's the baddies in Africa or something like that. And Pretty P is from Milwaukee, and there was drama with her, and there's always drama and stuff like that. So I let me just be full disclosure.
Okay.
I've watched these shows. My youngest daughter, Cree, was into them, and I've historically watched stuff that they like to watch.
Right.
Like when it was my daughter Zari, she was into DC Comics, so I would sit up late and I would watch all of those DC Comics just so I could have conversations with her.
Right.
And be,
right. I try to do that
with her.
I try to do that with my son too. We watch stuff together.
Yeah. So it's an easy way to connect with. With your kid, right?
Exactly.
And so she would come over. She had been coming over. She was about to go to college. She's in college now, North Carolina Central. And so she would come over on Sundays and we would eat and we would watch the Baddies show, right?
Okay.
And so I kind of got into it. So I kind of got into the characters and stuff like that. I had to catch myself and be like, what are you doing? You're educated. This is something, what are you doing? So I understand
You're affluent. How could you watch something?
I understand how people can get wrapped up in it, right?
I ain't gonna lie. Now, I'm not really a Baddies watcher. I got a friend, shout out to Ed, who always tries to get me to watch the Baddies. He got a Ratchet Sunday thing that he does, and he's like, you gotta watch the Baddies. I do a lot of housewife shows. I do Potomac. I do Before They Got Canceled, Atlanta Housewives, stuff like that. I watch a lot of reality shows. I'm really tripping off a 90 Day Fiance right now. There's a 90 Day Fiance, Happily Ever After. Anyway, I watch all of those.
You watch reality shows.
I watch reality shows.
So you used to watch, what was the MTV, the one that started it all? What was the MTV show? Real World. You used to watch The Real World?
No, I ain't do that one.
That's the one that started it all. That's the original.
Yeah, I know. You know what? I have seen some beginning episodes of that. I'm not going to lie. I did take a peek, but that really wasn't my deal.
Just think how much it's changed. In the real world, if you got up and had a fight or you got, you were verbally abusive or to a certain extent, they kick you off the show.
Yeah.
Now, it's almost like...
It's expected.
Right. I told Cree... And I told everybody that I watch it with, I was like, look, this is nothing but prize fighting. This is women fighting.
But see,
they're adding the backstory.
All
this
of them
wrestling.
aren't like that, though. All of them, I don't.
They've all become that. The ones I've seen, the baddies, the ones on Pluto TV, the ones on all of that stuff.
But those are kind of, to me, those are kind of the low end ones. I like to see, the middle and high ones where there's strategy involved and there's.
But they're gonna end up.
Like Survivor.
Right.
Well, I do actually watch Survivor, so there.
They're gonna end up. They're going to end up eating dinner someplace in some restaurant, and somebody's going to throw some water in somebody's face, and that's going to happen no matter what the show is.
Hold on.
But get to the point. What are we talking about?
We going to talk more about this after the break. You want to get in on this conversation, 833-212-1017. You're checking out Truth in the Morning with Damian LZ and Bailey Coleman.
Let's get it.
You're listening to Truth in the Morning on 101.7 The Truth.
Life's better with American Family Insurance because we know you love working weekends. If it means working on your dream home, both inside and out. And we're here to help protect those dreams so you can enjoy peace of mind. Save up to 40% when you bundle home and auto. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. Some exclusions apply. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
It's a bird bash at Potawatomi. Thursdays, you could win up to $50,000 cash in the Bird Bash game show. Just play with your rewards card this October for a chance to win. Wouldn't you like to rake in a huge pile of cash? Bird Bash, only at Potawatomi Casino Hotel, Milwaukee. More info at potawatomi.com/birdbash. Must be 21 years old to play.
This is your Versity Blood Center of Wisconsin Community Impact Moment on 101.7 The Truth.
What was the life change? You know, we all know it happened, and we know things happen, and you have bad kidneys, but what was the life change afterwards?
A couple things. Before they even allow you to get on the list, they make you go through a battery of tests. And, you know, a lot of people don't qualify because they're overweight, or they have high blood pressure or high cholesterol. So all those things are requirements before you can even get approved to be on the list. So I had...
Wait, you got to be approved to be on the list?
Absolutely.
Wow.
It's interesting. There's a professional athlete or former professional athlete I know right now that has kidney disease, and he's on dialysis, and he wants to get on the list, and he's not accepting all the things you have to do, you know, to get on the list. But yeah, so for me, I spent 30 years in the automobile industry. You know, that's 12, 14-hour days, eating whatever somebody brings you to eat, whatever you run out and grab, McDonald's, whatever. It was never salads and, you know.
Yeah, but that was a choice, right?
It was a choice. Yeah. But I had to change all of that to even qualify to be on the list. I had to get down to the weight I had to be at. I had to get my phosphorus under control, my potassium under control.
Wait a minute. Even though somebody said they would give you a kidney,
absolutely,
you had to still make yourself eligible?
Absolutely.
Nah, that's okay.
When I mentioned the athlete, his relative actually died, and they wanted to take his organs, and they couldn't because he wasn't qualified. He wasn't on the list. Wow. Yeah, you have to be.
So there are over 100,000 people on that waiting list. So they are very serious.
And how many donors do we have?
And that's the problem. We don't have nearly enough donors.
Wow.
And that's why it's such a critical need. But they are serious about who they're giving that gift of life to, because there are so many people who are literally dying waiting for it.
To make an impact by donating blood in your community, visit versity.org today.
Eastbound 94, we've got a couple of problems. First of all, just past Highway F in Waukesha County, the two right lanes are blocked with a vehicle fire. Now that fire is out. We just have a lot of emergency crews on scene to clean this up. We got delays all the way back to Highway 16. Beyond that, we do have more delays from just east of 84th Street all the way through the stadium. The westbound side has an accident off on the right shoulder at 70th Street, but it's not really affecting your ride right now. West of Highway 100, you do have delays past Elm Grove Road, and then again from just west of Calhoun all the way to where the vehicle fire was. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast today, sunny and warm, a high of 78. Tonight, mainly clear, low of 60 at the lake, 56 inland. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 101.7 The Truth.
This is Truth in the Morning on 101.7 The Truth.
You know what? I got to shout out Lee Hawkins one more time. That book sounds amazing. Y'all make sure you pick it up.
And it's
I ain't nobody's slave. How uncovering my family's history set me free.
That's crazy because we were just up here last week. I think it was Homer and I. We were talking about, and when I think we had the conversation extended with you, we were talking about trauma and how it affects your DNA, and that's basically what his book. He's chronicling that and saying he was a victim of murder, even though it wasn't directly to him, because it happened to his father.
Exactly.
So he's doing the mental side of it, and that's another theme of the day is the mental side of all of this stuff.
Yeah.
And going back to what we were talking about in the first hour with the VA, with all of the stuff that's going on and the way that we've been treating the less of us, that affects you.
Yeah,
and so
it
now you're not just
does.
doing that to that person, you're doing it to their lineage that comes after them.
Exactly. Switching gears back to what we were talking about.
Yeah.
My guilty pleasure, reality TV.
Nah, yeah.
You know, it has evolved since the beginning.
Yeah. Has it evolved or de-evolved? We don't know.
Well,
it has genres now, right? It has different subgenres.
It does.
What I'm talking about is I was watching, somebody sent me a clip, the baddies, South Africa, they're in Africa or whatever, and Pretty P.
Who's from Milwaukee.
And so that's us bringing it on. Pretty P is from Milwaukee, was fighting Dolly. Dolly's the big bad wolf. Everybody's scared of Dolly. Pretty P put hands on Dolly to begin with.
Okay.
So and that's why I'm saying I'm so torn. I was so proud of Pretty P.
Yeah.
Because she's from Milwaukee. I'm such a homer type of guy.
Yeah.
That anybody from Milwaukee that does well.
Yeah.
Even in something as trash as that, I'm like, yes, you did your thing, girl. Because Pretty P done took some losses, but she's still always showing up, right?
Yeah.
You did your thing.
Yeah.
But my question to the YouTube community, to Facebook,
to
everybody that's listening and watching us, wherever you're watching us at. Do you think our youth who watch these shows are adversely affected by these shows, and this is how they feel like they should handle conflict resolution?
Well, I've seen some things.
We always talking about.
And we're always talking about.
A lot of the stuff that happens is because of people not knowing how to handle conflict resolution.
Yeah.
So in lack of there being that education on how to handle conflict resolution, you go back to what you know, and what you know is what you've ingested and what you've seen. And what you've seen is anytime somebody gets in your face, you grab some hair, you smack them, you do whatever.
See,
you know?
That's like, here's my problem with that theory.
Mm-hmm.
That's like saying because you may play a video game that, may be shooting people, that you're going to go shoot up some spot.
Yeah. I feel you, because I feel that same way about hip-hop when people blame hip-hop, right? Because they say it's the music that making them do that. But I think there's that difference in that, is that this is reality TV, right? They don't. Yeah. A lot of people don't understand that this is scripted, that they want these interactions to take place. They want this friction to happen, and in this friction, they can create this conflict for something like this to occur. So they look at it and not knowing that this is not real, and you would, because if you don't have like I told you, I sat with my daughter and I watched it, and so we had those conversations. She's smart. She understands this ain't real. This is not how you handle stuff. But she used to be a fighter when she was young, though.
Yeah,
too,
but see how they get around it is they don't necessarily, like, the writers will script it, right? But they don't script what people are going to say, but they get at the scenario and they know what irritates that person. So then everything just happens.
That's what I mean. They placed them in these positions.
Yeah.
But it's to happen. And I think a lot of times off of the proliferation of these shows that I've seen videos where kids I've stopped kids from doing those things where everybody's gathering up. And now they're going to have a fight, and everybody's going to video it because they want to be like these people on these TV shows.
Yeah.
They want to hand out these whoopings and grab some hair and beat somebody up.
Some people think that's the way to be. Let's go to the True Talk and text line 833-212-1017. Get your call in. The Town. Good morning. You're on 101.7 The Truth with Bailey and Damien and Truth in the Morning. What's going on, Town?
How you guys doing?
Great.
I'm that's what's up. I don't know, man. Like, check this out. I was just talking about how we need to wake up. And then if we gonna need to wake up, then how we gonna watch this stuff with our kids? How we gonna watch this stuff, period? Like, bro asked the question, is it affecting the youth by watching these shows? The better question is it affecting the adults that's watching the show? Because if it's baddies or if it's the Real Housewives, one thing is for certain: when it comes to black, it's magnifying our worst qualities.
Very true.
For everybody. And we sit up and we sit. You do with your kids what you want to do, but like if we sit, okay. Me and my moms or me and dad and stuff like that, we sit and watch the Cosby Show. You know what I'm saying? We went to the Cosby Show all the way to this. You know what I'm saying? And it's reality. They say it's reality television. So they're telling y'all when they spit it out there, like, hey, this is a version of reality that's entertaining for y'all. You know? We can't have it both ways. And when we wrong, we wrong. And until we start we keeping it 100 with ourselves, we gonna be the same way. How we gonna worry about SNAP benefits and all that other stuff, and we can't even get off of what we can watch? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's getting ratings. It stay on TV. It's getting ratings, and we're not even making the most money off that. We're getting paid peanuts. Everybody on Baddies get paid peanuts. Everybody on them shows get paid peanuts except probably the top one, the Atlanta Housewives show. But they still be catty to each other. They always talk.
Atlanta Housewives got canceled.
Oh, it did? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just
They
saying
just
that's
had
the one I
that
heard
last
about.
season.
It was the most famous one. But look how they putting out the message out there about us.
Yeah.
Like all we do is fight. We chat about each other or whatever like that. So then when you watch that with your kids or whatever like that, though, you know what I'm saying? One way or another, they're gonna be like, well, is this how it to be? Because look at this lady right here that used to be in this cake. She's successful or whatever. Or look at T.I.'s whatever. They're successful people. I want to be like that.
You know, I think that there are some people, if you watch the show, there are some people like Candy who did well with her representation on the show, and that's why Andy had said that she would be on the Mount Rushmore of housewives. But we got to go to break.
All right,
so
I wanted to respond, but
we're gonna continue this conversation when we come back. You want to get in? Truth Talk text lines open 833-212-1017. You're checking out Truth in the Morning with Bailey and Damien on 101.7 The Truth.
You're listening to Truth in the Morning on 101.7 The Truth.
Hey, Truth fam. This is your girl, Melanie Ricks, and I want to remind you to tune into Nothing But the Truth digital show with me, Melanie Ricks, presented by Visit Milwaukee. Every Wednesday at 6 p.m., a new episode drops on the 101.7 The Truth YouTube page. And since it is on YouTube, I hold nothing back. I give you all my hot takes on celebrity gossip and give you the tea on relationships that you don't want to miss. Subscribe to 101.7 The Truth on YouTube so you never miss Nothing But the Truth digital show, dropping every Wednesday at 6 p.m., presented by Visit Milwaukee. Handcrafted, homegrown, world class.
It's 101.7 The Truth's Dr. Ken Harris for Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. When a customer chooses Pella, one of the most important things to them is honoring that trust and commitment. A lot of customers might have apprehensions about inviting someone out to their home. But when you see the experience and professionalism, you can trust them with bringing your project to life. Their vision is to be the company that people want to do business with. Watching them work from idea to installation gives you the ability to see firsthand the care taken to ensure the Pella experience is complete. When you want long-lasting comfort and reliability, it's easy to trust Pella. Every piece is specifically constructed for you and your home, always designed with innovation and rigorously tested for quality and performance. The Pella team takes pride in constructing quality windows and doors with meticulous attention to every detail. Order by the end of the month and get 0% interest for up to 5 years. Visit PellaWI.com today.
Certain restrictions apply. Ends 9/30/2025.
Ready to buy your first house, move into your forever home, or simply refinance? At Associated Bank, they've got you. With the right lending plan and guidance, you can achieve your dreams. Your financial goals are much closer than you think, and Associated Bank is excited to help you reach them. Learn more at associatedbank.com/lending or ask a banker for details. Subject to credit approval. Member FDIC. Equal housing lender.
At We Energies, we're committed to building a bright, sustainable energy future. We're investing in clean energy projects like solar, wind, and battery storage. As a leader in the decarbonization effort, our goal is to achieve net zero carbon emissions from our generation fleet by 2050. It's part of our plan to provide the affordable, reliable, and clean energy you depend on. Learn more at WeEnergies.com. We Energies, people you can trust, energy you can depend on. This message was paid for by the stockholders of WEC Energy Group.
After an accident, don't wait to get the help you need. Call Gruber Law Offices first. There is no fee until we win your case. Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
This is Truth in the Morning on 101.7 The Truth.
Welcome back to 101.7 The Truth in the Morning. Is Dame Elsie with Bailey Coleman. Truth Nation, now's your chance to be one call, that's all Gruber 5K giveaway entry for the day. Yes, you can be entered to win $5,000 courtesy of Gruber Law Offices. Be caller number, what call you want to do, baby?
10.
Caller number 10 right now at 833-212-1017. And you will be entered to win the $5,000 giveaway with the award-winning 101.7 The Truth and Gruber Law Offices. Again, that is caller number 10 at 833-212-1017. Remember, if you or a loved one has been injured in an accident, contact Gruber Law Offices today. Visit them at gruber-law.com for official contest rules. Visit 1017thetruth.com.
There we go. Get on that so you try and win that $5,000.
You only get a chance.
You qualified. You qualified. You qualified to win the $5,000. Let's go to the Truth Talking text line 833-212-1017. Al. Good morning.
Good morning. First thing I want to say, we all have the free will to know right from wrong, so we're not stupid. But let's be honest. The only way we're going to get better in life, we got to get the goldfish out. And from history, everything that a racist white man touch always go from sugar to sugar honey iced tea. And if you change everything, y'all still going to be the leader in rapists, pedophiles, incest, school shootings. So y'all can take everything away and y'all still keep putting us in your MF and goddamn business, okay? Go find you a hobby and leave us out of it. Your stuff is in-house with your white people and your white kin folks. Y'all raise daughters and sons as junkies. You raise them as school shooters, and you still keep putting us in your MF and GD business. Go find you a hobby and talk to your grandmammy and ask her why did that no good wank put all her baggage on your shoulders to rob you from living a life of diversity and wisdom. And if that's not good enough, put a tampon on your back, get on a broomstick, and take flight and fly like an eagle. Have a good day.
Ooh.
Okay, Al.
All right. Thanks, Al.
Okay, Al. Okay.
Wow.
Al.
Okay.
I was on fire this morning.
Yeah, he was.
Let me say this.
Yeah.
Shout out.
Going back to.
Shout out to the town. And you said something about watching it with your kids, which is what I do. So I felt like you was taking a shot. So I'm just gonna respond. Let me just say this: if you aren't watching stuff like that with your kids, then you're doing them a disservice because they're gonna watch it anyway.
Yeah.
And so I would rather them sit and watch it with me, and so then we can have a conversation about it.
Right.
And I can tell them this is that, you know that ain't real, and how would you have handled that situation? The same way my mother did me when everybody else's mother wouldn't let them bring rap in the house. My mother was embracing it because I'm gonna hear it anyway.
Yeah.
So whether I do it or not, she would rather I hear it in the house than we have the conversation. F the Police by NWA, one of her favorite songs. Play it again. Let's talk about it.
Yeah.
Why are they saying that? What are they going through?
Yeah.
What made them feel that? What made the same way I'm doing it with mine? Why? What would you have done in that situation?
Right.
Why did that happen? And what did these women do to get them in this position where they are on this show?
Yeah.
And in most cases we come up with these different scenarios, but then you find out, like with Pretty P got a group home here in Milwaukee.
Yep.
Pretty P is on her bread. She's very intelligent.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So what's the allure to these types of shows? And so when I'm sitting there watching it with my daughter, I'm trying to save her from that allure of this show and letting her know that everything that glitters ain't gold. And if you are banning this from your house, you are saying, I'm never going to watch that with my kids. I'm never going to. Then you setting them up for failure.
Right.
Because they don't have your guidance in those situations where this comes up.
Yeah, very true. Just so everybody knows, Kendall and I do watch TV together. We have a mother-son family kind of scenario, but we don't watch reality TV together. He don't like it.
I watch whatever they want to watch so I can see what they into because they're going to watch it whether I'm around or not. They're going to listen to it whether I'm around.
Absolutely.
Some of the music they play me, I'll be like, girl, what is this? But if you love it, if you like it, I love it. Let's talk about it.
Yeah. Oh,
you know?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Kendall, well, I mean, one day we riding in the car and he's like, yo, Mom, check this out. Pop in the song, he plugs in his phone, and it's Sade.
He think he putting you on something.
Right. I was like, I know every word to this song, and I will sing it to you right now. I was like, what do you? Yeah. I was like, yeah. So, I mean, he likes a variety of different things, mostly like action, superhero type stuff. He don't fool around with reality shows. That's my guilty pleasure. Mm-hmm. But I don't, baddies and stuff like that, that ain't my...
That ain't just thing. It ain't mine either.
It's cool.
It was hers.
I mean, the thing
because
is...
she was watching it, I was like, well, let's check it out.
If that's what you like, that's fine. You know, if that's your deal, that's fine. But, you know... We have to look at. But the question you said was key.
the question is, do you think this is adversely affecting our youth?
Well, the second part of that is what attracts you to shows like that? Because seeing fighting all the time, that ain't really my thing.
It's the excitement of it, I guess.
I mean, that's what I want to know. 833-212-1017. What attracts you to shows like Baddies? I mean, what is it? Let's go to the True Talk and text line. DJ, what's good? How you doing?
I'm good. Good morning. I'm going to say hi. Good morning to Dame. It's the Savage.
What's happening? What's happening? I knew who it was off top, but if you want to say it on the air, what's happening, Savage?
I'm just calling because you are dropping some nuggets for me as a mom, you know, raising a young person. I am very, like, nope, we're not going to watch that because, like, I grew up on Webby, which hence is why I'm the Savage. So I really don't. I try to change some of the things that I have, but I really feel like fighting is a part of adolescence. We have this thing about, like, oh, you know, the young generation, but, like, we forget that we used to fight, and then the generation before us, and they're on, and we have the ability to, like, grow and evolve out of that and not be stuck in that space as long as the people that we have in our lives, our mentors, our family members, show us other avenues. And I feel like that's what you're talking about, Dame, when you say, look, okay, they going to be exposed to stuff, but it's about that household or those relationships that they build to show them other things. I really appreciate you saying, like me, no cuss words, no, we don't do that. We listen to rap, but it's usually like the edited version. And I'm really like, I try to expose my son to, like, we listen to a lot of old Afrobeat, like we listening to the Fela's, the Ebo Taylor. That's where I put my son into, but I don't want him to be one-dimensional in any aspect. So I really appreciate the nuggets that you drop in. Let him watch it, but, you know, tell him how to perceive it or give him some advice. That's a nugget. That's a Monday nugget from you. So that's it for me.
Thanks for calling.
Thank you, Savage. I appreciate that. That is, and yeah, I accept it, but I got it from my mom's, and that's, And you know, my sister's a lawyer. I'm successful in what I do, and it's worked. And I've done it with my kids, and they've all been. My oldest is a lawyer. The second one studied abroad, just graduated from college. The third one is, you know, on the dean's list at Fisk, and
there you go.
The last one that's in college is now, you know, doing her thing at North Carolina Central. So
there you go.
I think it works.
It worked out.
And you just have to put in the time with your kids and explain to them this is not reality. This is not real life. But in doing that, you're getting them to have critical thinking skills, and they're looking at it, and then they're saying, okay, what's going on? But just imagine if somebody's watching this, and it's the same with hip-hop music. If somebody's watching this or listening to this without any guidance, and they think this is what it is.
Yeah.
This is how I handle stuff.
Yeah.
This is how I'm supposed to get down.
Right.
And then how does that affect them if they don't have those critical thinking skills or don't have anyone guiding them down that path?
Exactly. I mean, when we talk about music, you know, my son grew up in the whole hip-hop scenario. So, and then being able to meet the artists and spend time and all that, I was constantly there going, you know.
So he got to separate real life from the music that he would hear. He would see them in person. So he made that separation that way. He would see them in person because, you know, you meet some of these artists, whether they be actors, whatever they are, right? These famous people. And you meet them and you be like, oh, you're not that.
Exactly.
You're not that guy.
Well, I mean, he had the privilege of spending some real time with some real people.
Right. You're not that guy that you're rapping.
Right.
That's not you.
I was actually just
and maybe
reminiscing.
It's a part of you, but it's
some of those pictures came up in my timeline. I was like, "Ooh, they went on to do some crazy stuff." So you know, I mean, you know, you have to be that presence in your child's life.
That's what its bottom line is.
Yeah.
And so the question again is, does it have an adverse effect? Yes. If your presence as a parent isn't there in their life,
right?
And you let this TV raise them.
Yeah, if you let the TV raise them, or if you let the music they're listening to raise them, you know, you can't You can't. You got to be there.
And that's
you got to be there to say. Like I was saying.
Yeah,
absolutely. That's like saying, what we were talking about with the video games and, the whole. I played these games, and so therefore, in reality, I'm gonna go shoot up a joint. That's not. Even though I'm gonna be real with you, my son could not play shooting games until. Like, I think I didn't like them at all. So maybe around mid-high school years.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was just like that. I was like,
everybody every parent has their personal preferences and things.
Yeah,
like when my girls were singing Nelly, I would be like, I would not let them, because I understood the power of saying something and repeat and the chorus and that. So I would not let them say, I'm taking my clothes. No, you keep your clothes on. It's getting hot in here. I keep on all my. They to this day will laugh about that. But to anyone else, that may be trivial. But that was my thing. That's parenting. Every parent has they trivial things that they want to emphasize. This is important to me. But I think as a whole, you have to involve and be involved with your kids. So because they're gonna see all of this stuff and be involved in all of this stuff, because they're not gonna be with you 24/7.
Not at all.
And in not being with you 24/7, they're opening themselves up to that. So if you haven't prepared them to handle that when they come across that, then you're doing them a disservice.
Yeah, you really are. You really are. I go back to. Was it you that was here? You and Telly were giving me a hard time about not giving my son a cell phone.
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah.
It worked out.
And what's funny is I didn't give my kids cell phones till they was in 6th grade, 4th. They went
6th grade.
Yeah, they went.
That was too early for me.
Yeah, they was. But for them, that was late because everybody else had them already.
Well, I mean, I'm not saying that Kendall's friends didn't have them.
He was married. Kendall didn't get Andrew, her son didn't get a cell phone until he was married.
Andrew.
Having babies.
Andrew, my son is not married. Thank you very much, even though I think he thinks he is sometimes with the young lady he's dating. But
that's neither here nor there.
That's neither here nor there. I love them both.
You funny.
But you wrong for that.
He didn't get a cell phone until he was married?
No. He was like...
And he was getting
definitely middle school, and definitely no internet on the cell phone.
I guarantee you he had a burner somewhere. I guarantee you, Andrew, this boy had a burner. He had a government phone.
Well, let me say this. He did go to school with he went to middle school with his brother. Mm-hmm. And you know his brother because he dates one of your daughters.
Right. Amir, shout out to Amir.
Shout out to Amir. And I'll tell you now, the two of them, oh my gosh. So he probably did have a burner phone.
Had a cell phone. He just didn't take it home with him.
Oh, man.
As soon as he get to school, Amir was popping it to him like, here you go, bro.
Probably.
I got you.
Probably.
Because you go get an Android for $50-$60 back then, you know what I'm saying? And then, you'd be on
it would not shock me. It would not shock me. All right, we got to get out of here. But guess what?
We're back tomorrow.
We're back tomorrow.
Y'all make sure y'all check us out tomorrow.
Yep.
Be on YouTube, be on Facebook.
Yep.
Be live on air with us. Call in, talk to us. We got a lot of special things that we didn't get to today that we can talk about tomorrow.
Oh, absolutely. And follow us both on Facebook.
Yeah.
I'm just Bailey Coleman on Facebook.
I think I'm just Damian Elzy on Facebook, Dame_Elzy on Instagram. Follow us, y'all. Get with us.
And I am Bailey Coleman on Instagram. And, of course, follow The Truth. Stream and watch us live on YouTube. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. All of the things, all right? We'll check you out tomorrow morning, 7 a.m. right here with Truth in the Morning on 101.7 The Truth.